Hey everyone, today is the 1st of June and I for one can't say that I'm sorry about May being over already. May turned out to be not the month I had planned for. Do you remember when I told you about my new project for May? Exactly, learning how to play the ukulele. I didn't have any time at all to play it. I barely managed to put the new strings on the ukulele, which took longer than I expected, but I managed. So now I want to still learn the ukulele, but I'll do it in June, so it's not so bad. May turned out to be pretty busy at work. Normally I travel once a week for work, but in May, it was 3 to 4 days a week. Despite all the things that were going on, I managed to upload a few videos. There's one where I show you some epigraphs I liked in my books. There are many more, so maybe I'll do a second one day. I also talked about 2 novels in a book because I read these 2 bind-up books and I really liked your ideas on how to deal with the Goodreads problem, just editing them as separate novels. I don't know why I didn't come up with that, so I thank you all for that. And I also finally managed to film and upload my contribution to the My Genre project, where I talk about my love for adult fiction. And a book tag, the World Book Tag created by the Book Jazz, where I show you books from different continents. Onto the books I read in May, and this surprised me. I didn't realize that I managed to finish so many things, so I'm quite happy about that one. The first book I read was Summer Crossing by Truman Capote. It's a very short love story about a rich young girl falling in love with a mechanic from the other side of town who's not so rich and a little bit older. It's very beautifully written and it's a nice story. The descriptions of New York in the summer are amazing, and if you haven't read any Truman Capote, I think this gives you a good insight into his writing style. Then I read Das Totenschiff by Bernd Raben. This is the second novel in this bind-up. I still haven't read the first one, so there will be a review of the full book. Then I continued one of the series I'm on. Curtsies and Conspiracies by Gail Carriger is the second book in the Finishing School series, and this is a steampunk YA novel. It's set in the world that Gail Carriger created for the Parasol Protectorate, only a little bit earlier, and it's on a floating airship finishing school, which is actually a spy school. I really enjoyed the second novel and it was better than the first one. So if you've started reading the Finishing School and didn't like it so much, pick up the second novel because I think it's getting better. And because I was in the world of Gail Carriger, I reread Soulless, because I just wanted to have some Alexia Lord Mackin and some laughs, and I loved it the second time around. It was just as hilarious and well written as the first time. I picked up a lot of little things that I didn't notice when I read it the first time, and it just made it a lot better. So if you haven't started on this series, it's a paranormal steampunk novel, and it's a little bit of a love story romance thing. A little bit more romance than I usually like, but I still love it in this series. And I also managed to finish Saints and Sinners by Tom Holt. I read both novels, Paint Your Dragon and Open Sesame. Though I really liked the writing and how he can write and his story ideas, the novels failed to please completely. I just think they're okay, mainly because he's dragging on the point too much. At some points it feels like he's beating you with a stick to understand what he wants to try to tell you, and it's annoying. I really would have loved these novels a lot more if they had been shorter. Currently I'm rereading Moving Pictures by Terry Pratchett, and I hope to finish it by the end of the day, so there will be a review up sometime next week. In May I also managed to finish listening to Grave Peril, the third book in the Harry Dresden Files. This is where he has to deal with ghosts and a lot in his past, and there was a lot happening. I really was invested in the story. At some points I couldn't see what was coming, and I'm really sad about the ending. Seriously, why? Currently I'm listening to Maya Angelou's memoir or autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Thinks, and she tells it herself, which is amazing. I love how she talks and her prose, but I sometimes have to really concentrate because it's very dense, which is the case with good prose sometimes. Tell me in comments how your May was, if you had as stressful a month as I did, or if you had a lot of free time and managed to participate in the readathon. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.